All right, if you're a military veteran, you know all about executing a mission under pressure. Well, think of this as your next one, landing a high-impact career in the tech world. The question is, how do you make that leap? We're about to break down your new mission briefing.
So, this is the real challenge, isn't it? How do you take all that incredible experience you have, the discipline, the problem solving, the leadership under fire, and make it click in the civilian IT world? A world that, let's be honest, speaks a completely different language. Well, a huge part of the answer comes down to this one number, 70%. That's the percentage of IT hiring managers who are looking for one specific thing on your resume before they even think about picking up the phone. And that one thing? It's a certification.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's our game plan. First, we're going to frame tech as your next mission. Then, we'll talk about how certifications are basically your civilian passport. We'll break down the top 6 certs you should know about, map out a strategy for picking and funding one, and then finally, get you prepped for the job hunt. First up, your next mission is tech. And let's get one thing straight. The skills you already have aren't just relevant, they are in huge demand. The tech industry desperately needs people who can troubleshoot when everything's on fire and lead when systems go down. That is you.
But here's the problem. It's what we call the civilian gap. Your experience is absolutely invaluable, but a civilian hiring manager probably has no idea what your MOS or your rating actually means in their world. It's like you're speaking a different dialect, and that communication gap is the single biggest hurdle for so many vets. And that leads us right to the solution. The best way to bridge that gap? You gotta think of certifications as your civilian passport. They are the tool that connects your incredible service record to a really rewarding tech career. So what really is an IT certification in this context? Come on, it's way more than just a piece of paper. It's an instant translator for your skills. It's a validator that says, yes, I belong here. And maybe most importantly, it's your ticket to the front of the line in a super competitive job market.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at how you can draw a direct line from your military experience to these credentials. Were you good at risk assessment and security protocols? That's CompTIA Security Plus right there. Did you master complex logistics and comms gear? You are already thinking like an AWS solutions architect. This is how you make your experience impossible to ignore. And the data backs this up in a big way. We're not just talking about getting a foot in the door. We're talking about kicking it down. Certified vets are getting job offers up to 30% faster. Their starting salaries are thousands of dollars higher. And if you're looking at fields like cybersecurity or the cloud, it's not even a nice to have anymore. It's a flat-out requirement.
Okay, so let's start building your arsenal. We're going to look at the top 6 most in-demand certifications that will give you the absolute best bang for your buck heading into 2025. Think of this table as your cheat sheet. If you want to build a rock-solid foundation in cybersecurity, Security Plus is your go-to, and you're looking at starting salaries around $65K. If you're aiming for the cloud, something like the AWS Solutions Architect can get you into the $90,000 range right out of the gate. And for all you leaders out there, the CSSP is your ticket to those 120K plus roles. So, where should you focus your energy? This chart tells the whole story. Cybersecurity is just exploding. Job openings are outpacing the available talent by over 40%. That's a huge opportunity. And cloud computing isn't far behind at all. These are the areas where getting certified will make the biggest splash. Okay, we've covered the what. Now let's get into the how. We need a strategy. This is your battle plan for picking the right certification and, just as important, for getting it paid for.
It really breaks down into a simple 3-step process. First, you've got to take an honest look at your strengths and match them to a role in tech. Second, decide, do you want to go deep and specialize in one thing, or do you want to stack a couple of certs for maximum power? And third, you have to look at the job market and, crucially, find the veteran-specific funding that's waiting for you. And hey, let's talk about that stacking idea for a second, because the impact is just massive. Vets who combine 2 powerful certs, say a Security Plus and an AWS cert, they're finding jobs 40% faster, and their starting paychecks are at least 10 grand higher. It's a total force multiplier for your career. And here is the absolute best part. You do not have to pay for this out of pocket. Think of this as your funding arsenal. I mean, look at this list. Between your VA benefits like the GI Bill and VET TEC, employer programs like SkillBridge, and totally free training from giants like AWS and Google, there is a path to get certified with little to no cost. Okay, you've picked your cert, you've finished the training, now it is time to launch. This final phase is all about using that new credential to achieve mission success, which means landing that great new job. Now this is so important to understand. You have less than 6 seconds. That's it. That's the average time a recruiter is going to spend looking at your resume. So your certification, it can't be buried at the bottom. It has to be the headline. It's your hook. It's your proof, right up front.
So, how do you win that 6-second battle? You need a coordinated attack. On your resume, put your certs right after your name, at the very top. On LinkedIn, add them to your headline so everyone sees it immediately. Start networking with veteran IT groups. And when you get to the interview, your job is to connect the dots for them. Explicitly link your military experience to the job, using that certification as the bridge.
All right, let's wrap this up with your final mission briefing. Here's what you need to remember. 1. Pick a high-impact cert that plays to your strengths. 2. Use the amazing funding programs out there for veterans. 3. Think about stacking certs to speed up your career and your salary. And 4. Lead with that credential on your resume, on LinkedIn, everywhere. At the end of the day, just remember this. Getting certified isn't about adding another bullet point to your resume. It's about getting your passport to a career where you call the shots, where your skills are finally understood and valued, and where you get to set the terms for your own future. Mission accepted. Now go execute.